Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there osia dem yopo.
Now but I think a budget very important. President Mahama Baye very, very important in terms of his public statement has to do with this 2025 budget.
That's right.
Because constitution no just a president no mum and a budget in the end.
That's right.
But on kojina honko kind and internet or delegated through the minister.
That's right.
Only how on us me delegate obi am more kwaye. But in the end, package na ye ko ha kind no a president no Nedia. So you are only reading it on his behalf. And I think that prior to elections, there were a lot of promises President Mahama making to the people of this country. And the expectation is that you follow through with some of these things. And this over here, a buying society, many public babies say, Moka say, COVID, no, da bang, fund, the number saying, taxiway, da bang, but utie conversation now. I dare no be a trying to say, the budget statement, will be read. Sabaya, the various your friend saying decisions are government taking regarding some of these initiatives, and finally, we are here. And I think having gone through the budget statement for 2025, I can say so far so good. Okay. Very positive and very refreshing. Because a lot of the promises that were made prior to the elections, have been kept. And because we started conversation, you mentioned some of the taxes.
That's right.
And one significant thing that managing has to do with, you see, very often my culture say your budget, your friend saying a deficit-based financing because always expenditure as to change
the income,
the revenue now you bring and this year we market over 279 for the 2025. I best spend it, and I think there's a whole amount of money you expect to say in Sabeka from this year, 223. And the financing gap near somewhere around 46. Compared to the past, clearly you know say it was huge. Sometimes we were around 60, 70 thereabout. So that particular amount now loan for me, it's a bit good. Yet to me to 2 year near my year we will be able to handle some of these things. But Alaska. The most important thing has to do with these taxes.
That's right.
5 of them, because it's not easy for a government. So, but 5 taxes. Because these are revenue streams. Buying enya, and you year free hono. What is the alternative? And my culture says free SHS not net the hono, because you need any assured financial way be a guarantee that you provided your friend saying. Financial guarantee to the year, but through this particular budget, I think that some of these things, have been resolved. Maybe walk you through a lot of the many things. So first one has to do with this. Your friends are taxes now. First has to do with E-Levy.
Okay.
And the second one has to do with your friends a betting tax. So among for business, a buying a year free. What is the alternative? Alaska, my country say, we are buying. You must always be very innovative and very sensible in what you're doing. Because there are always ways around things about sika to cover for some of these things. For instance, so we had the amount of money from E-Levy. Now we had the amount of money you free betting tax annually. Alaska, you go back to GRA. Oko GRA. Omoha def your friend say recovery account that particular amount of money you used to say agencies in na se for no so omojeje taxes no we are I know the day GRA have this refund account wa sika no ye tamba agencies any say tax no sika the tax no no odo court wa that particular money it has been there sa sika no dwumadi ayedidi ni say ese ahotofo to ya taxes maybe 10,000.
Okay.
But through whatever means they were charged 150 1,000.
Okay.
So there is an excess. Those kind of monies, it's a huge sum of money that has been sitting in that GRA account, and there are other revenue streams that are connected to that particular account. And this is gum, and it's a one of the your friends say that particular account na ewo GRA debt recovery we na ewo hono debt sika na kokoguma ya de service sa those payments one of the major way ya Kizuru because he has been mismanaging that particular thing for so long. So the plan is that money is sitting there, huge sums of money. And it's a we sa COVID, you know, your first E-Levy free ho. Now we this particular betting tax free ho. That particular amount of money now go to a city in that particular GRA account, you know, is bigger than what these two monies are giving us. So I know the day, you know, that money no alone no can cover for some of these things. So there is no big deal.
So that was why I also been making that amendment.
Okay. So yeah, that particular sikana sitting in that particular account now. I know the day, omode yensem hunu at the finance ministry. No, you realign, and this money will come back to cover for some of these shortfalls.
That's right.
It's positive, and that is the way you need to think. Alaska, one major thing a mania jehopa has to do with free SHS. Makacho say. You need assured or any guarantee source of funding. So this is what government has done this time round, you know. So we have Gov't fund. My culture say ye kapeye.
That's right.
And now buy sandikosi kam kwaje bosia. So what President Mahama has done this time round and say a kana eda your friend saying Gov't fund so I had a Dutch bond interest servicing or government absorb our year free Gov't fund so government will pay you. So Gov't fund no longer no service any debt.
So now a purposely for education.
For education. Then cap now that's no. Why on cap?
Okay.
So the monies that are earmarked for Gov't fund, you know, every money will come.
100%.
100%. So Gov't fund is going to get an excess of 4.1 billion. Alaska budgetary allocation for free SHS in a year 3.5. 3.5. So forever and ever no. We are going to have a guaranteed and assured source of funding I be pay for free SHS.
So every time there is an accountant.
Yes.
Says you can them I purposely for free SHS.
Yes. So now we are uncapping your friend is saying Gov't fund.
That's right.
So Sika BS about Gov't fund will come. And I'm telling you we are going to get excess of 4.1 billion. Free SHS, you know. A amount involved, 3.5.
That's right.
So you are paying an extra, and the president also I can say, nipa amu disability.
That's right.
Amuko university, but I can't say nyansa nim say obi nan ye ne ya obi sabi na nim ho ade na wa force wall to test here now so into your school fees.
That's right.
Nyansa bi anim.
We said it here.
Good. So this 4.1 billion na ebeto Gov't fund account to me no say ya de 3.5 etua
free
SHS. There's extra. That extra no also pay for school fees for some crofo way nyina. Makacha say governance is about being innovative, being reasonable and being sensible. Because over the years, you know, onyanko fa sika mfiri ba bia o. The same money na our system no ma over the years, ye to go anyansa bia nim no. It's just a way of finding a way to realign these monies for a certain purpose. Alaska, say see am not here, okwe road funder. A car done so enye sika ketwa. So roto na mu free ho no makacho se nyansa bia nim. So the best thing to do is to bring the roto your friends back and make sure say you too big. Because miss 10 cities 5 cities no. You too big then you fix the road. Because roto is one of the major sources of funding road infrastructure and so you need to increase that particular amount for over 100%.
That's right.
So so would you 50 cities, would you 20 cities it should be 40 cities. But make sure that you use the money to fix the road. Another day money be a winner from road to is going to double. It means that investment at the road sector is also going to go up.
That's right.
What I say. So because of this realignment and re-engineering, you know, a lot of the problems are now so in the past, you know, some of these things have been taken care of. As I say, apart from Gov't fund now, yeah, can't about say yeah, you know, government as they making allocation of I think 400 and something million to your schools. That's
right. That's right.
I know. So this money is also going to take care of these textbooks by making sure say textbooks over the years and that monies are coming back. And then was making commitment to pay nursing training allowance anyway,
right.
And specific allocations have been made. Say over 203 million Ghana cedis allocated for teacher training allowance payments.
That's right.
And 408 has also been made for nursing training allowance. So the promises that have been made, you know, an extra 100 million has also been made for assemblymen. That's what the budget what can we? Extra 100 million has also been made for assemblymen. And one thing has to do with your friends school feeding.
That's right.
And also amount, I move from 1.4 to 1.71 billion. And also no, your friends say the purpose say krano sika no mo ye emu be mia, but that amount of money no I'm thinking say is still small.
Okay.
Go Alaska. Na akura bia di 150 pesos.
150 pesos. And or they are called 2 cedis.
Or they call 2 cedis. Government need to work on that because and we so okwa easily go man for nkraman credit more than 2 cedis. But I know say it's a step in the right direction and having captured it under the budget for the first time, it means that government is really committed to doing a lot just to ensure say some of these things will also improve. So I think say you may be a critic somewhere.
Okay.
Governance, is a human institution and some of these things, but her budget, now her situation for me, I can say it's positive. And one major thing over the years, and a major concern has to do with you see, any value. In the past, na a man for the gold a back almost city. In America, they do this. Even in UK, they use some of this solid money to back
their
currency just to ensure. And now there's with the establishment of this gold border, government are making a significant allocation of I think $279 million. Gold board be making sure they will go to the ground and be buying gold.
That's right. From
your friend say a man for small scale way or more yeah. Sabaya government now will be doing gold business.
That's right.
Not individuals. So the monies that will be coming, say at the end of the day, official channels, these are the amount of monies you are making. In recent time, I've listened to a lot of people doing propaganda say, more budget license and then as for their party financiers and as for. Let us be reasonable. Alaska. Gold, just like any other essential commodity, like your friends say cocoa.
Like cocoa.
Cocoa won't even sorry and cocoa.
No.
There should be a central pool out of a cocoa board. Gold, over the years, you need such a platform.
Any gold board.
You need gold board, you be Obiaya the ope. And it's a government say or establish a gold board that will be responsible for gold purchasing and as for. It's going to be something like cocoa board. And also making sure say fair pricing and as for will be done. So you may have issues with the individual sitting there, but do not rubbish the establishment of the your friends saying gold board and say your family and friends and man for the babeto. It is an institution that is owned by Ghana in the name of the Republic. So the person sitting there may go, another person will come.
That's
so
right.
if you don't like the person sitting there, don't just say oh yakofa omwamba because in the media recently say Obi say is a medium fear by now to gold where man in for licenses and as for it doesn't make sense.
Sure, that propaganda as usual, but Ghana for
yes, because in America, the gold board purposely established just to ensure say gold na enam kwan ano no.
That's right.
Well, Alaska adeba ko edi nyan say Ghana a gold hub a nya gold. But because I didn't nya fair pricing. Because gold, you need to go through a standardized regulatory processes. That Africa, I'm told only one country penalty go through. You need a stamp on your gold. Sabaya at the world market, gold no value. We haven't even gotten there. So this is a step in the right direction. I have that kind of avenues, Now you're making sure say your gold no go through all those proper systems. Sabaya Ghana gold carbon tia. Who stamper a bosso our official you can be regarded as a gold bar that can be kept in any treasury anywhere in the world. I buy you value in as a forum. Alaska, the discussion about the budget near my costume, I think that is very reassuring because you see I'm very disappointed if some of these taxes were not removed.
That's
you
right.
Understand? Because at the time Mana President Emeki those promises and he knew what the situation was. But Ghana for instance, this E-Levy generated a whole lot of controversy in this country.
COVID-19.
COVID-19 tax.
Spoken about it.
It's one of the 10 Nyansa Bia Nibisa Ausa Yariaba. Nyansa Niba Yariaba over Casemede Yadiano taxemo. Now, by now, on the Jiji Obia taxes and Hochirena, not Obeje taxa. How much more the individuals now Yadiano are affected?
But it's serious.
Alaska. So I think that some of these taxes in our air corner, they are not just going, but also at the port. Port now, ne Ghana, New York, America, Alaska. or talk at $3,000 na $4,000 na ube in Ghana, ube to ya extra $4,000. Because of some of these taxes. So we need to make a real commitment to the people of this country and make sure say some of these taxes, because okoport hona one day made when you ba bechirawo so wo pese we import duties na egu niama so no me de ba betan ba kan akirawo hu o yem behyew and why those items no kosoro. So if you are able to scrape some of these taxes in as for normal Emma businesses akosoro, there are a lot of people who always do a very narrow argument and say na say aban scrappy taxes no o mine no nya sika.
That's right.
Alaska, we are progressive minded. You should also know say tax scrapping, you know, is an incentive, economic incentive.
Yeah, the mamo.
Yeah, the man for right. Businesses to boom. Because, for instance, say obi aircraft spare pass from Bontiamba, na COVID-19 levy edaso, na say we free swat. When it comes back to Omayinuma, or no so better near man so.
That's right.
Ghana needs so what on. So it has that reverse impact or effect on the economy as well. And that person, you know, will have enough financial freedom to go out there and get whatever that person here for minor. But at the back of all these things, I'm happy for the massive investment that is going to the agriculture sector. Because it's a genuine commitment, I think, that the president has made.
That's right.
So among all the sectors that will be receiving huge boost, you know, agriculture is one of them. And I'm expecting, say, we should not just leave it to the books. The books, keke. Go Alaska. Say you heavily invest in the agriculture sector alone, poultry, rice farming, and any other way near my yakra you make commitments. Say we are incentivizing young people to go into a full-scale farming and as a forma. We can commercialize some of the lands available, making sure say we make dedicated commitment. And there is this young guy, your friend's a poultry farm. Young guy, or no over best 7,000 bears.
That's right.
Alaska, utimi egg or produce in a day, and yard the ketwa. Just imagine government at me put you about 10 young people together. Now I capitalize you more,
right.
Provide them. Another day, no, you can go into your friends and share basis income, no, you share among yourself.
That's
government
right.
will get a cut. Another day, Sikana yade kofa poultry as for import to abano. So that's it. These are real commitment that government has to make. Rice farming. Young people are coming all the way from the north to Kumasi to do Kyei, all because of some of these things.
Now I buy enya no as a be hostel amount.
I say I buy a winning me answer and be decide you man.
But Madina maybe hostel
na Kyei sa on Kyei companies will be because that is what they do. Nyansa be in Alaska. There are vast land in the north. Government need to make sure that the machinery that are needed to ensure say we incentivize young people to go into farming, you know, after national service. How many people are able to go into the main sector? How many?
That's right.
So post national service, you know, there should be a certain incentive regime. So person you go into poultry farming and as a farmer, these are incentives that are available. And trust me, there are a lot of people who be ready to go into some of these things because I know the day you employ yourself.
That's right.
You capitalize, employ yourself, make sure that you do these things. Government will benefit, though, also be benefited. I know the day, you know, it is the sector that will grow. So for me, if there is any particular sector in this country that has the potential to create job, make sure say we cut down on importing as for agriculture. But it depends on how we go about it and what the level of commitment government ever regarding some of these things. And for me, if we are able to do some of these things, Alaska, trust me, a lot of the problems I face with Chroma say no. Esobeti amagana ni bia ehun atono. Another issue I'm person make has to do SOEs.
Okay.
What it in that?
That's right.
What are the different SOEs?
SOEs.
State-owned enterprises.
Yes. Omo de kate ubia.
Chese. Baby I better say CEO bia no. Omo na o sa
very well.
Open nipa etu omo ka wo kroma ya. Sa institution na CEO.
Omo disikate ubia.
Nyuma omo ye sabi enkwase adwuma okroma nyansa bia ni mo ebo man na ka eyo sa institutions.
O pese ohun omo bokro no.
Yes.
Can I say?
Alaska. Sesi ameno ka say most of the institution no de car to the sense that say me go there me no there mama tan ka kire Cocoa board. Me kan ho asem.
I know
And Alaska is also interesting. I think there's some of the conversations you and I have had on this platform no. Most of it were validated in the system. Me catch say your first ADB and your first National Investment Bank kadan e dey si ho ene finance minister say you here 2.2 billion to recapitalize these two banks and yes ebegu.
And this is about 3 years ago.
Yes. Sesi amono ka say domestic debt exchange can for that year no. Alaska mature 20 at the 2020 we 7 the next 4 years, you know. Government here 150 billion for domestic payment alone.
That's right.
150 billion for domestic debt alone. So you should know clearly say the yete hono enya the kitwa, and Ghana is also resuming its external debt obligation to both external creditors and domestic internal creditors. So I know the day, you know, it's not easy. So some of these institutions like Bank of Ghana for the proposal about said they need 53 million to recapitalize. To attain a positive equity position, you know, they need 53 million. Proposal another. So these institutions, you know, say I'm far quite be so I'm here quite for so mojuma. Now you jai almost say they should operate. We woke up a day na you be who so mine, no. Alaska wouldn't make a good ECG so.
That's right.
ECG car saying I have the figures here. Let me see if I can get them for you.
FM 92.3.
Say Oko your friend saying good. Say Amanoka say IPPs, you know, you do almost 1.7 billion. I see it here independent power producers at the energy sector. Oko ECG they send the Canada ya they are ton to be 68 billion. Cocoa board at the 38 billion. And a road fund nan kasa your friend is saying 5.7 billion. BOG here 53 billion to address in a negative equity position. And more William Fisher the same Bank of Ghana and at the center where na order Sikanu din se munu print cash and nipa Kenyan assumption na onti, you know.
That's right.
Yes, but ene sa aka ni nyina ba begu Ghana so a ye hwese ye betimi atoto neema. Cocoa board ya ye ka ho asemi. They were supposed to produce cocoa beans. Ya kwaje ho bosia. Alaska, ye the cocoa beans sika 330,000 tons of cocoa. Ya kwaje sika na ba bedi. But yantumi produce because in the last 3 years in here cocoa beans na you produce, you know, ya shortfall by almost 50%. Yes, because we used to get over 900, almost 1 million tons. But then you are over by 300 to 400. So which means that you cut it down to over by 50%. Ya kwaji sika, ababedi sika nasano. And this year the new agric minister na wabano okotua cocoa beans ya de ho ka nti ehia 300,000 tons to go and service and sana ya baba he de ye beye and ya kasa Ghana economy ni messia enya agudie enya nyomto enya politics enya way but in America no you cannot just go out there and tell people say problem near people are not interested because in the last 8 years problem no be any ya ka ho asem what Ghanaians want a solution. And I think what has been provided so far in the budget, you know, I give you certain signals of hope, even though it doesn't solve all the problems at a go. But I think it give you certain signs of hope. Say Nema cost to us say yeah, things will get better. And there are a lot of people who are started bashing and insulting government about some of the decisions and then as a forum. Alaska, at the early stage like this, you know, and your magic.
That's right.
And yeah, they are can open sesame, then things will restore and resolve. A recovery, journey to recovery, you know, are very painful and very contracted. So it will take a government that is so focused and so committed to his objective, and then some of our culture Ghana for to be able to pull. So for me, I think so far so good with this particular budget. Even though we are the early stages of it, we will have to maybe a Friday bedroom. No,
that's right.
Near time to go through the annals and the details of this. But from the synopsis and what I have read so far, some of the dedication, the commitment that President has so far made, you know, I think that most of the promises, you know, most of them have been kept. And the major one has to do with taxes in Ghana for share anymore.
That's right.
Because before budget, you know, finance minister engaged a lot of young people and as for now obia concern has to do with the taxes.
That's right.
Because now a lot of financial analysts and economists were arguing say because we are under IMF program and as for but with this realignment where government has proven sufficiently say see to 2 year we can survive as a country. All that we have to do is prudent financial management. Not your expenditure over the years, above the sky, you know. You make sure say you control, not excessive borrowing. Now you taste for. Nyansa be any sikana ba. Near the party will club no. Ye kate and those enterprises in Alaska. Yes, sika. And one of the major decisions that has been taken. This Savannah Development Authority.
That's right.
Those authorities na say budgetary allocation to them kafu ubisa almost a no more
that's right,
nothing sensible. So some of these monies, you know, we can realign them, channel them to other productive areas, and trust me, the whole essence and the focus is to ensure that Ghana need a better relief. That is the whole essence of this thing.
Right.
But the Ghana for are happy about the tax scraping and as a form. I think that's okay. The next thing is to ensure that job opportunities and other things are created for young people to have something to do. And for me, by Friday we'll go through the entire budget and we'll be able to pinpoint some of the key highlights in our way what to do.
But I'll say Ivan Kyei